Alara Vance, a 22-year-old finance student at Newport University in Boston, had grown up carrying the weight of poverty with her widowed mother, Mama Lena. Her father's death left them in the struggling South End, where Mama Lena scrubbed offices before dawn just to keep Alara in school. Alara worked part-time at a diner, studied relentlessly, and prayed for a better future. But when her mother's cancer worsened, her fragile world collapsed. At St. Jude's Medical Center, the doctor said, "Your mother needs urgent treatment, imported medication, aggressive therapy. It costs $200,000. Alara felt the ground vanish beneath her. She had barely enough to pay rent. Still, she vowed she'd find a way. She begged for help from a local loan shark, Mr. Sterling, who laughed at her desperation. "You have nothing, no collateral, no future. Come back when the world owes you something." His words cut deep. That night, Alara wandered the city, clutching the last of her cash, and entered a late-night pharmacy to buy pain medication for her mother. Her card was declined. "Add it to mine," said a calm voice behind her. She turned to see a tall man in a tailored suit, Ethan Hayes, the young billionaire CEO of Hayes Global. To him, paying for her medicine was nothing. To Alara, it was everything. She stammered, "I'll repay you." He handed her a small card. "If you ever truly need help, reach out." Then he left. Hours later, a message appeared on her phone. "We met at the pharmacy. Come to the Blackwood Hotel. One night, no strings. Any amount you ask for." Alara stared at it, sickened. She threw her phone aside, but as the night grew long and her mother's condition worsened, desperation crushed her pride. With trembling fingers, she typed, "I'll come tomorrow." At the Blackwood Hotel, Ethan greeted her with cold calm. She spoke first, steady but pale. "I understand the terms, but there are rules. No violence, no filming, no drugs. You transfer the money first, $200,000, and after tonight, no contact." He studied her for a long moment, then nodded. "Agreed." The money transferred instantly. Later, in the quiet of the suite, Ethan's gentleness surprised her. It wasn't crude or violent. It was silent and strangely tender. When dawn broke, Alara dressed, looked at him once, and left quietly. She went straight to the hospital and collapsed beside her mother's bed, whispering, "You'll live, Mama. You'll live." Days later, Mama Lena improved. When she asked about the money, Alara lied, saying a kind friend had lent it. Meanwhile, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about her. He'd learned the truth. She was a student with nothing, fighting to save her mother. She wasn't what he'd assumed. He deleted every trace of that night and swore never to cross her path again. But fate had other plans. One afternoon, Alara saw an elderly woman struggling with groceries. She rushed to help. "Let me carry those, ma'am." The woman smiled warmly. "You have a kind heart." Alara didn't know this was Grandma Vivian Hayes, Ethan's grandmother. Days later, Vivian met her again in a boutique, where the staff mocked Alara for browsing expensive clothes. "Don't ever look down on people," Vivian scolded them. Then she turned to Alara. "You helped me once. Come interview for an internship at Hayes Global." Alara could hardly breathe. HG, Hayes Global. When she arrived for the interview, she froze. Ethan was there. Their eyes met, shock, guilt, and something unspoken. But he said nothing, maintaining his composure. She answered his questions with fierce honesty and intelligence. He hired her as a management trainee under his COO, Marcus Riley. At work, Alara stood out for her diligence and empathy. During a tense meeting, when a client insulted a janitor, she stepped forward. "Sir, please." He didn't mean it. Respect should go both ways. The room fell silent. Later, Ethan said quietly to Marcus, "She's remarkable." Still, others resented her. Chloe, a senior employee infatuated with Ethan, and Serena, a sly fellow trainee, set traps to humiliate her. But Alara endured quietly, refusing to be broken. One evening, Ethan approached her after hours. "You've been avoiding me." "I've just been busy, sir." "I respect that. I only want to talk as a friend." They spoke about their pasts. Ethan revealed his allergy to alcohol. "Even a sip could hospitalize me," he said lightly. She remembered that detail well. At a corporate gala weeks later, a drunken client pressured Ethan. "Drink with us, Director Hayes, or lose the deal." Before Ethan could respond, Alara stepped forward. "If fairness is the issue, I'll drink in his place. But the contract terms must be revised to reflect honesty." The room buzzed with laughter, but when Alara calmly exposed the unfair clauses, the client conceded. The deal was signed fairly. Outside, Ethan said softly, "You saved me tonight." She smiled. "I only did what was right." Yet her heart pounded long after. Chloe's jealousy turned vicious. One night, she ordered Alara to shut down the office power. The next day, millions in data were lost, and Alara was blamed. "You're fired," Chloe sneered. Alara stood her ground. "You told me to do it. I have your message." But when she checked, the text was gone, deleted by Serena when she'd borrowed her phone. Just as panic spread, Marcus arrived with security footage. Chloe's voice rang clearly. "Make sure you cut the power before you leave." Ethan's tone was icy. "Chloe, you try to frame her. You're suspended effective immediately." Turning to Alara, he said quietly, "Lesson learned, always keep proof." Her respect for him deepened. His admiration for her became something more. But darkness still lingered in the Hayes family. Ethan's uncle, Quentin, and cousin, Caleb, plotted to overthrow him. Alara accidentally overheard Caleb boasting, "The old woman won't live long. I fixed her supplements." Terrified, she rushed to Ethan. Together, they raced to the Hayes mansion, where Grandma Vivian had already collapsed. Doctors at St. Jude's confirmed her supplements were poisoned, but she survived. Later, pretending to be weak, Vivian invited Quentin and Caleb to her study, secretly recording their confession. When their greed exposed them, Ethan had them arrested. Vivian transferred her assets to Ethan, whispering, "Storms shape strong sailors." Alara stayed by Ethan's side through the chaos. He found peace in her presence, and she, against all logic, fell in love. One evening after a board meeting, he admitted, "Sometimes I feel I can't breathe in this family." "You're stronger than you think," she said softly. Their eyes met, and before either could stop it, they kissed. It was gentle but electric. Moments later, she pulled away, horrified by her own feelings. The next morning, she resigned. "I've done what I shouldn't," she told him through tears. "I've fallen for you, but I'm not qualified, not by education, not by background. I need to walk away." Ethan reached into his jacket and unfolded a small, worn paper, the handwritten note from the Blackwood Hotel. "I kept it," he said quietly. "Your rules. I follow them all. I hated that night, but I never disrespected you. I don't want that to be our story." His voice softened. "Give me a chance to love you rightly. No secrets, no shame, just us." For the first time, Alara believed it might be possible. Weeks later, at her graduation ceremony, she clutched her degree and searched the crowd. Suddenly, Ethan walked in, calm but determined. The room fell silent as he approached her, knelt, and held out a diamond ring that caught the light. "No contracts. No bargains," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "If you say yes, it's forever." Tears streamed down her face. "Yes, Ethan. Yes." The hall erupted in cheers. Mama Lena wept quietly, whispering a prayer of thanks. From poverty and despair to love and redemption, Alara had paid the price of dawn and found, at last, that even the darkest night can end in light.